Hola. Welcome to the channel. This is a space dedicated to nurturing self-worth, intuition, confidence, and balance through the power of the feminine. My mission is to support you as you embrace your natural strengths and craft a life that is aligned with your values, desires, authenticity, that is also guided by the rhythms of nature and the cosmos. Welcome back to Yoni Swell, where we reclaim our feminine power, trust our intuition, and live from the soul in a practical way. I am Jordan, and if you're new here, welcome. So today we are going to talk about the new moon in Sagittarius that is happening on December 19th, 2025, depending on where you are in the world. And this is such a powerful, monumental, and really significant week. The planet Neptune has gone direct at 29 degrees of Pisces and is closing out a 165-year cycle. And as Neptune is leaving the very last degree of the zodiac wheel, Saturn will be joining Neptune in February of 2026, where they will merge together and create a brand new symbiotic cycle. So, this is a bigger subject that has a larger perspective of evolution at hand. So I won't go quite into that right now. Though, in a practical way, for you to understand what this means on both a soul level and also on a human level, is we are closing out a 30-year cycle for sure of lessons that we may have felt we were karmically attached to, meaning you may have experienced certain relationship dynamics or certain emotional attachment dynamics that may have played out in your life as a pattern. And in the last 5 years, they may have risen to the surface so loudly so that we can look at them and really get down to the root of what they are, perhaps where they came from, and so much of our own freedom and essence and nature lives underneath those patterns. And so you may resonate with this from a point of view of you are working out these dynamics with a person, perhaps in a relationship, through a marriage, or through your work, through your career. Some of this may have been enlightening around what is your relationship to money, your worth, your self-value. What are your values? These are things that the soul, the universe, has been calling us forward to really get quiet and listen and be willing to confront our limitations and confront these parts of ourselves that have been culminating. And it may have been cyclical. So it's a form of exhaustion that has been taking place of being stuck in something and being given the opportunity to learn from it and make a new choice. And so this is a week where whatever the illusion of truth that you were living under is now being clearly revealed. And it is a very soft energy. It operates and comes through our intuition and our dream state. If you meditate, it's that quiet place within you where these nudges come up, and we experience this information in all different ways depending on your own unique energy. It might be, yes, dreams. It might be in your third eye with images coming forth. It might be the remembrance of memories and instances with parents, family, relationships. work dynamics. And I encourage you to become aware of your the higher wisdom that's coming through. There's a version of you that is rising from within that is showing you who you naturally are truly and who you were within this shell or these limiting uh, this limiting embodiment that had to experience certain dynamics in order to learn the lessons. And so it's this return home, essentially, and connecting to our intuition, building that trust with our intuition is so much of this process. And that is actually who we naturally are as human beings. We are intuitive, we are psychic, we are all healers in our own way. Though for thousands of years, especially when the patriarchy took over, there is conditioning and programming around the dominance of the logical mind. The mind knows everything, or the mind is where you go for the information. And that worked for us as humanity for a while. It's not working anymore because that's not actually who we naturally are. And so this channel is a place you can come to practice and cultivate a building and trusting relationship with your intuition, learning how to tap in and know that it's your intuition speaking to you versus the egoic mind or some sort of conditioning or inner critic from your childhood or a parental unit or anything like that. It's really about getting to know yourself, getting quiet and listening, and then utilizing this force as your navigation, guidance tool that really is giving you all of the information that you need at any given moment. The truth is that many of us, most of the world have forgotten who we are. And so this is a place where you can practice and harness and return to your nature, return to who you are, create a space where you're able to listen and you're able to actually recover who you naturally are. So this week is when these messages start coming through. And the story that you've been witnessing for the last 30 years, perhaps, and maybe even longer, is now coming to center stage. The movie is almost finished, and there is a beautiful opportunity for divine wisdom, compassion, unconditional love, and this nurturing towards yourself and towards all of us, where we can really sit, accept what was, and allow ourselves to receive the dissolving of these old patterns, these old dynamics, and allow the lessons to be the wisdom that we are now taking forward into the new starts in 2026, February specifically. We, for the last 3 years, as Saturn has been traveling in Pisces, Saturn is our physical reality. It represents the container of consciousness that we all have. Saturn places the limitations in all of us where we are only able to experience certain things. And then a lot of that has to do with the lessons that we are here to learn and then to resolve and to move forward. And so the last 3 years have been a restructuring of our consciousness from within. And Neptune represents spirit and our higher selves and is beginning a brand new 165-year cycle at the beginning of the zodiac. So together, when they merge and move into together into Aries in February, we are literally on the ground building a new earth, a new consciousness within all of us, and a new path that is aligned with our soul, with our nature. with our values. And we are remembering that we are actually all in this together. And we are remembering that we are all an expression of the universe and have gifts and talents to share with the world as a way to help others solve a problem. And in exchange, we are all in this currency of energy exchange and are able to build lives where we have all the resources we need. There is enough for everyone, and we can all be here honoring our own individuality while being in community. That is the Aquarius energy with Pluto and Aquarius. What is your truth? Who are you as an individual? In your essence, in your freedom, and embodying your self-worth while being in community and sharing that with others, being the model so that we can all remember who we are, so that we can all create a life that is in alignment with our strengths, our values, our essence, with clarity, with confidence, with a sense of calm, knowing that at any given moment we can return home to ourselves. We can actually reset our nervous systems. We can heal from our trauma. That is Pluto and Aquarius. It's we are all confronting our trauma from the past. And in order to confront our trauma, we must be willing to look at the deeper soil or the deeper parts that need to be excavated and come to the surface. And the truth is that there are so many resources and there's so many healers, guides, therapists, people that we can lean on as a way to really understand so that we can all heal. And so this Sagittarius new moon this week and leading into the Sagittarius new moon, which is conjunct the galactic center, we are receiving these light codes, these crystalline energies that are allowing us to drop our shoulders, to release the burdens, to be at peace with the lessons, to have these aha moments, these moments that feel like electricity coming in with truth. Oh, that's why that happened. Oh, that's why I behaved that way, or that's why I felt these waves of depression or whatever it was for you, because I was really holding this energy that was a part of a conditioned self, a false self that led me to my own transformation. And as I'm healing, that energy is helping everybody else heal. So we are here to heal and empower ourselves, to empower the soul so that we can build the new earth that is in resonation with our nature, our hearts. The more and more that AI and technology advance, which is going to happen so rapidly in the next 5 years, the more important it is to connect with your intuition, to operate from your intuition, to operate from your natural inner wisdom so that you can know what is true, what is in resonance with heart space energy. There's going to be more and more of a divide. And it really comes down to being in unity with the heart, and then unity consciousness will naturally evolve. So this Sagittarius new moon is the Gemini full moon was actually the activation point for the information there's a spotlight shown on the hidden information that needs and is in the process of being revealed that shows us what we've been holding for all this time that kept us in certain dynamics, certain patterns, making certain choices, and not really knowing exactly why, not having all the answers. And that through, these 2 weeks is releasing the data, releasing the energy of, or the information of childhood wounds, why we chose our parents, where the complex trauma began, whatever it is for you, why you chose certain relationships. It's coming to the surface. So as we move into the Sagittarius new moon taking place at 28 degrees, where the sun and the moon meet in Sagittarius at 28 degrees, We are being given a brand new starting point from a higher perspective, from the innate wisdom we have. And it comes down to having this clarity around what is my inner emotional truth? How do I feel about myself, my values? What is the part of me that I now get to fully embrace and embody? That inner child that gets to be told and felt into safety and love and embodiment of that nurturing. So I'm going to pull up the chart, and this is an opportunity for us to embody the higher perspective coming in, embody the higher wisdom that's coming in, and allow ourselves to start taking action into embodying the tangible new starts. And in that regard, part of what I offer is one-on-one coaching sessions where you can really hone in and focus on what is it that I need to work on for the next 3 to 6 months so that I can bring in those new starts from a place of love, self-acceptance, self-trust, confidence, strength, and my from an intuitive place, right? Because the divine feminine is here. She is here to reclaim her place, her feminine power as a way to bring balance back into the universe. So, what are you being called towards right now? And what part of you is ready to speak up and to embody the message that you're here to share? So, I'm going to go ahead and pull up that chart so that you can see. And this is part of what I offer. You would come see me, and we would, through our coaching sessions, we integrate astrology as a resource tool for returning to your nature, for restoring your self-worth, and to really embody your divine feminine essence, and to truly feel into what that is, trusting and discerning and creating from within, right? The ability to receive and to trust that what you are receiving is what you have discerned to be true for you. So, and the feminine needs the masculine in order to go out there and create. But the process of knowing what you're going out there to create comes through the feminine. And we can talk about that more on other videos when we explore other topics. So, this is the Sagittarius new moon right here. Okay, the sun and the moon are exact at 28 degrees. And then we have Venus and Mercury both in Sagittarius. And these are all ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter's over here at 22 degrees of Cancer. And this is the ruler of the chart because Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is about higher learning, wisdom, truth. It's about your belief systems. Your belief systems are shaped by your values, Venus, Taurus. So, what within your own emotional reality, your inner gut instinct, your emotional body is speaking to you as truth? What is in alignment with your truth at this time? And what part of your inner child or the home you grew up in, or even maybe the ancestral lineage that you are healing in order to truly move forward, coming from a place of your natural self in these new starts as they're beginning as we head into 2026. This Mars is in Capricorn, ready to take charge, ready to make all of these new goals, dreams, and visions a reality. And that Mars is ruled by this Saturn. And this Saturn is in a balsamic phase to Neptune at 29 degrees. And this Neptune is moving into Aries. ready to initiate and create, dissolve the old. This is a dissolving energy, the dissolving of illusions, the rising of truth. And so this is a powerful time where we are getting really real with ourselves while embodying our spirit, our cosmic talents and abilities, and allowing these new energies to come in so that we can truly embody the divine feminine and who we naturally are. And so this Jupiter is really important in terms of your own inner emotional reality and truth. Who are you now, and who are you ready to truly create and to be in this world? And this sun and the moon are conjunct the galactic center. And so there's higher wisdom coming in. There's a spiritual essence that is entering into humanity, which has already been happening. Because where we're going is we are going to be embodying, we already are. And those who are really listening to the call, we are embodying our spiritual selves in this process. So it is about the scientist meeting the mystic. It is about embodying our spirit within our human experience. It is about the knowing and the truth that we are all souls in a human experience. And what are we going to do with that wisdom and that knowledge? And how are we going to shape and express our values, this new earth energy, to the children, like to the younger generations who are coming in with their own unique essence to help build the new earth? And with technology and with AI, the key really is to drop into your heart, connect to your intuition, and operate from this innate guidance system that we were gifted, that we are remembering is our truth. Jupiter in Cancer ruling this new moon in Sagittarius. And then we have Pluto in Aquarius fully moving direct, making sure that we are confronting our limitations and really getting to the bottom of the truth. And this Pluto being ruled by this Uranus in Taurus, it really aims or, directs us back to this Venus in Sagittarius, which is asking us to confront and release the old ways in which we would interrelate to ourselves, the old value system. Were we honoring our values? Were we honoring our truth? And so really pay attention during this Sagittarius new moon, because there are going to be activations and heart center openings where you are fully ready to put the key in the ignition and get that car started for when the new starts truly begin in February of 2026. So that said, I hope this video was helpful for you. You can find my information in the description below. And I'm also hosting a monthly workshop. And the next workshop is actually December 13th at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it is called Embodying the Feminine Current. And in this workshop, what we do is we go through a process of connecting to our 7 chakra system, and we correlate it to how our body feels into the energy from both an astrological point of view and also a practical point of view, so that we can know deeply how to connect with these parts of us as a way to process what's happening, as a way to return to calm and to clarity, to embody operating from our intuition. It really is a workshop about connecting to your intuition and trusting your intuition and knowing from an innate essence how to do that. So I invite you to join us. And you can also find me on Insight Timer if you are interested in meditations or various talks. And actually, I just released my most recent course about restoring your self-worth. So, thank you for being here. I look forward to connecting with you, and I will see you next time.